Howdy, Possum Patty and the Soggy Bottom Bunch. A whole bunch behind these flowers, yes. And a special bunch up front. And just look at my mini daffodils. Oh, they got so tall and there's so many blooming and there's more buds coming. And when these are all done, yes, I'll put them outside. I'll bury them out by the stone wall in front because I have some other ones out there. And I was like, well, every year that we live here, I'm going to plant a bunch along the stone wall. So this will be the 2025 bunch, yes. But they're looking so good. Yes, I had them out by the sliding door in the other room so they can get some sun. And I just brought them back in. And I just came back from the magical basement. I went down looking for some paper to do the very last page in my dirt road diary. Well, I did come in earlier, and I put an index. And what I put was the day, like day 1, day 2, day 3. And that's what I was calling the pages. So like day 1 was like the first day that I was studying the stones. And day 2 was the second day I was studying stones. I don't know why I did it that way. But that's how I started, yes. So I just kept going with it. So I'm all the way up to day 45, which will be this page. Although I did notice I misnumbered a few pages, or I forgot to number a few pages. So there's like 16A and 16B and 17A and 17B, because I was not going to go through and change all the numbers, no. I just popped in some A's and B's, yes. So I have the name of the stone, and then I have a little blurb about it. So like day 1, basalt from inside the volcano, right? So just a little blurb. So that's all the stones in this learning journal. And what a wonderful journaling journey this has been. Yes, I had so much fun learning about the stones and rocks because, you know, they're kind of like my passion. And doing this really fun journal. It kind of looks like all the other journals that I have. Even Flat Stanley's in there, right? Even Flat Stanley. But every page is about a stone or geology. I started putting in some geology stuff too, like earthquakes and meteorites. So all special stuff, yes. Friendship rocks and all that in here. And one of the possum peeps asked me what I was going to put in the pocket here at the end. And I'm not really sure right now. I had stickers in there, but I'm going to take the stickers out. And, you know, if I find any like memorabilia or pictures of anything pertaining to anything that's in here, you know, newspaper articles, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I put anything in there at all. I would fill it up with rocks, but that's not going to work. No, that's not going to work. So I am here to do the very last page, day 45, and I have a mystery rock. Yes, I do. So besides typing up this whole index and putting it there, I spent a good amount of time today trying to figure out what this was. So I'll tell you about that fun and get some paper. Oh, and it's black. It's very black, dark and shiny. So I was looking for something mysterious and black. And I brought up pink, right? So I got these moons, and I like the black background. But the accents that go with it are pink, but that doesn't matter. I might use this anyway. On here, do I have a picture of that stone? I have to print out a picture of the stone. And then there's some borders here. I might use a border. See, he's got these crystals. I love that. And the pink goes with it, and there's some stars. And this is from a set. I think this is Michael's. Also, as I was typing up this index and just going through here and looking all the pages, of course, my mind started wandering off to what? To what? I'm doing the last page. And I was going through my rocks down there, and I found some rocks. Well, I do have a lot of rocks. I don't have to find them, they're just everywhere. I'm like, oh, I need another journal. And I went over to the shelf and I looked at a few on the shelf, and I'm like, oh, what can I use? And I went downstairs and I was looking at some books and at some notebooks. I said, I like this because this was a leather bound journal. And I just thought it was perfect for learning. But that will be finished in a few minutes. I found this downstairs that I got at the flea market. It's an old library book, or maybe I got it at the library sale. Got little tags and things on it. And it's Minerals Up Close. And I'm thinking, see, it's just about the same size. Look at that. And I like the size, yes, for learning journaling, for a learning journal. How's that? And I was like, ooh, I can take this apart. Take these pages out, put a larger spine on here. I'm not going to use these pages as the foundation pages because I might use them as pictures on different pages, yeah. I'll just get some, scrapbook paper. I got a whole bunch downstairs from the flea market. Yes. So I think this is going to be the cover, but it's going to be an altered book cover, yeah. Where this was just a notebook that I didn't alter at all. Well, I altered the pages on the inside, right? Glued some together and put washi tape. So, yeah, I think this is going to be the next one. Minerals Up Close. I like it. I like the size, yes. Just about the same size. Okay, so that's it. I'm going to tell you about my mystery stone. I got to print out a picture. And let's see. Oh, so I brought up these papers. And then I was looking through some other things downstairs. And I found this magazine. I found a lot of things. I keep bringing things up. Taking things down, bringing things up. Oh, I found a couple little things that reminded me of steampunk. Little clocks and gears and keys and things. I'm like, oh, that's got to go in the Howard bag, which is down there somewhere. I know. I'm so bad I don't put things away. Burning Tool came out, and I'll tell you why that's out in a minute. I'm going to put that away. Oh, so downstairs, yes, found this magazine. I was like, oh, Harry Potter and Fantastic Beasts and Dumbledore and all of this. I said, well, maybe there's some kind of mysterious, magical kind of focal point, that I can put on the page. So I'm going to look through this and pick out a picture to put on that page with, maybe just a background like that. Something like that. And because this is a learning journal, the pages might be a little simpler than some of my other journals. Well, because on every page, I just wanted a photo of the rock and a little blurb about it. Just want to learn something every day. And I decided I would not buy anything as far as journaling supplies for this journal when I started it 2 years ago. Yes. So everything in here is stuff that I had, stuff that I made, just stuff that was in the stash, stuff from old magazines, books. It didn't matter. I did not buy anything specifically to put in here. No, this is all shop the stash stuff. And that was even before I started No Spend, Save the Cash, Shop the Stash. Oh, flea market opens this weekend. Yeah. Oh, I got to bring Red up here in a couple of days. Yeah, we have to go over some bookkeeping because I did spend some money and now flea market's coming up and we got to work that out. Yes, we got to work that out. Okay. All right, let's get to it. I'm going to get the last page in this journal done and it will be the first finished journal of 2025. Come on along. All right, I misspoke. Yes, I did. I misspoke. I hear y'all out there. Yes, I do. My December not so daily journal, yes, that I started in 2023 for December, and I only got about half done. And then I did December 2024, but I had some blank pages and I went back and I filled them in. Like here's January 4th, 2025. Mr. Possum feeding the birds here. So, yes, this is December 2023, December 2024, and a little bit into January 2025. So, this was the first journal that got finished in 2025. Yes, my really fun winter Christmas caravan journal. Yes. So, this will be the second one. Unless there's another one, let me know. So that would be making good progress on journals, wouldn't it? It is March. It is March, and this will be the second one. And also, this journal was started in 2023 too. Wow. So that'll be two journals that I journaled in for 23 and 24 that get finished early in 2025. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Getting around to it. Okay, why is there a heat tool? I'm going to put that away and work on this page. So I found this stone. I found this black mystery stone. It's kind of a dull black, but got sparkly bits and little holes in it. Look at that. And when I picked it up, I was like, wow, it is so light. Like this quartz is smaller, but feels heavy, feels dense. And this just feels so light. I was like, I wonder if this is coal. I wonder if it's coal. Mr. Possum said it looked like coal too, but I wasn't sure. You can find coal in Connecticut, but I wasn't sure what it was. So I used my Rock ID app and I took a picture of it and it identifies it as basalt. Now we got a lot of basalt in Connecticut, yes. And it kind of looks like basalt, but it's so light. It's so light. But you can have a volcanic rock that's light because there's a lot of gas holes in there, I guess. Scoria, they call that. So I'm like, is it scoria or is it coal? Now, coal is usually pretty shiny, but it does have a lot of shiny bits. And just some here where it's been roughed up somehow. So I was like, how am I going to know what this is? I don't know. Is it basalt? Is it coal? And then I started researching black rocks, black rocks. And I was like, maybe it's jet, which is a really high grade kind of coal. It's like a further developed coal. And like, maybe it's jet. Yeah, this is a mystery. It's either basalt or like a scoria because it's got these holes in there, or it's just a piece of coal. But it feels so light, so light. Oh, it's like, I don't know. Yeah, so I'm going to end my journal with a mystery stone. I'm not sure what it is. A lot of times I go along with what the Rock Identifier app says. And a lot of times I know it's just plain wrong. So it could be wrong. It could be right. This situation, I don't know. So I'm looking up all different ways to try and tell if this is a piece of coal or a piece of basalt. And I'm like, what's the specific gravity on this? It feels so light. So I took this little piece of quartz, which is a little bit smaller than this, okay, out into the kitchen. Mr. Possum's got this little scale. I put them on there, and this little piece of quartz does weigh more than that does. It's a little bit smaller, but it weighs more. This is agate, I think. I think it's a kind of agate or chalcedony, but it weighs more than that. A little bit smaller, but it weighs more. So it's just very light. And I'm like, there were some black stones, volcanic stones like pumice and different things that actually float in water. And then there was one that will sink very slowly. And I was like, oh, so I took the two stones and I dropped them in a glass of water. They went down in the same rate.
Oops.
So I'm like, okay, it's probably not full of gas bubbles like the pumice or the scoria, because it didn't float and it sank really fast. But it still could be a basalt. And I was like, oh, so I'm looking up coal. And one way to determine coal is to heat it up and see if it smells like coal. I'm like, oh, okay. So that's why I got out the heat tool. And I was like, well, I'm using my little agate over here as like my control rock. I'm using it like my control rock for the experiment, right? So I put the heat tool on the agate. I'm using this as my control tool. And I held it there and I held it there. And I said, well, maybe I'll time it. So it was like 30 seconds. And then I touched it, slightly warm, slightly warm. Pick it up, handle it, touch it, no problem. Slightly warm. I was like, okay. So then I said, well, I'm going to do that on the mystery stone. And I put the heater on there like that. And I held it for 30 seconds. 30 seconds. And ouch. It was so hot. Okay, now the thing is, if you heat it up, it's supposed to smell like coal. So I held it up to my nose, and it did have a little bit of a smell. So I warmed up the quartz again, and I tried to smell that. Then I warmed up that rock again, and I tried to smell that. And I'm like, oh, there's the mourning dove. I was like, oh, this is interesting. I think it does have a little bit of a smell to it. And man, does it get hot. When I heated it up again, I didn't record this part. I went to pick it up and went, ah, like that. I was like, ah, ouch. Ouch, 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 ouch. I know, I just put a lot of glue on there because I'm feeling this wasn't going to stay down. I was just going to put it around the edge, but I got carried away as I'm talking. So I was like, oh, it smelled a little bit. I said, maybe it is coal. And it certainly held that heat, man. It held that heat. It heated up and it was warm. So I was like, ooh, maybe this is coal because, it's got a little bit of a smell to it and it held on that heat for a while. I was like, okay, it's probably coal. And then I looked up basalt. Does basalt hold heat? And Mr. AI Google was like, oh yeah, basalt holds heat. It heats up and it stays warm. And that's what they use when they give you that stone massage. They warm up the stones and they put them on you. They use basalt because it holds the heat. I'm like, oh, okay. All righty. Okay, we're going to let that dry. And, oh, this Harry Potter, this is from the first movie, right? From the first book, from the first movie. Harry Potter. And what was the name of that book? The Sorcerer's Stone. I can call this the Sorcerer's Stone, right? I don't know what it is. It's a mystery. I might just stop right there. I think we found something very appropriate. So, yeah, I think that's the best one. We got Quidditch here. Lockhart. Golden Snitch, Richard Harris. Dragon. Well, I think that's, is that it? Yeah, these are other movies, I think. All right, so, yes. Inside the very first page is a picture of Harry Potter from the very first book / movie, The Sorcerer's Stone. Oh, he's so big. What am I going to do? Mm-hmm. Wow, he just about fits on there, doesn't he? Trim this up a little bit. Oh, I could cut this out and put that right on this letter. And I could do my journaling right across there. And I could just do a page like that. Yes. Simple, simple. Or I could put a border across the bottom. These little crystals. Something like that. Yes, something like that. So I'm going to glue him down carefully with some glue stick. Well, you know, I'm working in my Howard, gathering up all kinds of stuff for that. But I still have a few more of those 2023/2024 journals that could get finished up. And take a piece of this. Okay, now do I want to leave this little bit of pink there? Like that? Or do I want to put it down here? I almost want to do this. Okay, I'm going to cut this out. It's hard to see the black stone from the shadow there. I could have left a little pink ring around it, I guess. And the stone goes right there. Okay, now I'm going to take my white gel pen. All right, I've got my journaling done. I found a black stone, dull but with shiny bits, on the road. When I picked it up, it felt unusually light for its size. The Rock ID app says it's basalt. To me, it appears to be a piece of coal. So I tried a few tests, maybe scientific, maybe not. Weighing, dropping in water, even burning. It held heat and gave off a slight odor. Might be coal. And I put Mystery Stone up there. And because this is Shiny Magazine, it's going to take the gel pen just a minute to dry. So I'm not going to close the book. But I am going to celebrate. Happy dance. Happy dance. Yes, happy dance. Journal number 2, 2025. Finished. I'm just making out the tag right away. Mystery Stone. Basalt or coal. I should put a question mark there. Basalt? Coal? I don't know. And I'll put my little tag right there. And as you can see, I was having a play with the felt and started putting in some squares. And I numbered this wrong, so I'm just renumbering yesterday's stones here. Because obviously, oh, wrong one. That goes there, that goes there. And the stone is up here. Okay, ta-da. All right, so I've got 45. And I just stuck a few more rocks in here, which may or may not get journaled in this order. They're just kind of sitting in here. I'll probably change some of these out because I've already journaled about some rocks that look like this, I think. And I might switch out some other ones and put some other ones in here. Yes. So, I know that's not a rock. That's a piece of brick, but I found it on the road, and it's a dirt road diary. All right, so when I start the new journal, should I continue numbering with this numbering system? So that would start with day 46. Day 46 and continue. I've got some really beautiful stones that I want to journal about. Yes, I might take some of these rocks out. And this is a special stone, pipe stone, only found in Minnesota. All right, so yeah. Yippers, I'm happy. I'm happy. Well, I'm always happy when I play with the rocks. Yes, I am, but I am also happy to complete the final page in another journal. It's not going to fit on the shelf of finished journals. I'm down to the bottom shelf now, so it'll be the first one on the bottom shelf on the left, and I'll go across as I finish them up and put them in order. Well, it's a little chunky, not too bad. Pleasantly plump. It's pleasantly plump. And it's going to go on the shelf. Yes, it is. So, ooh, Stinky's balloon. Finished, 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 and now not finished. All these are not finished, but I'm going to put it right here. First one finished on this shelf. And I have a few more that only have a couple pages, so they'll be next. Yay! Yay! Well, thank you for allowing me to share. The last page in that journal, yes, an accomplishment. Last page of my learning journal. Well, happy junk journaling. Bye-bye. They started in early the next morning, just as the sun was coming up. Soon a little boy came along. "Do you think you will finish by sundown?" he said to Mike Mulligan. "Sure," said Mike. "If you stay and watch us, we always work faster and better when someone is watching us." So the little boy stayed to watch. Then Mrs. McGillicuddy, Henry B. Swap, and the town constable came over to see what was happening, and they stayed to watch. Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann dug a little faster and a little better. This gave the little boy a good idea. He ran off and told the postman with the morning mail, and the telegraph boy on his bicycle, and the milkman with his cart and horse, and the doctor on his way home, and the farmer and his family coming into town for the day, and they all stopped and stayed to watch. That made Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann dig a little faster and a little better. They finished the first corner neat and square, but the sun was getting higher. Clang, clang, clang! The fire department arrived. They had seen the smoke and thought that there was a fire. Then the little boy said, "Why don't you stay and watch?" So the fire department of Popperville stayed to watch Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann. When they heard the fire engine, the children in the school across the street couldn't keep their eyes on their lessons. The teacher called a long recess, and the whole school came out to watch. That made Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann dig still faster and still better. They finished the second corner neat and square, but the sun was right up in the top of the sky.